Are here, making each day better, one song at a time. Greetings, everyone. Hello, hello, hello. Happy Thursday. Good day, morning, afternoon, evening, wherever, whatever happens to be happening. We're on this journey together with each other, and I'm happy to see us all. Welcome to Daily Antidote of Song. Hello, brought to you every single day by the beautiful people at Carpe Diem Arts. Two hands and some head nods. Two hands and head nods. All right. Can you all believe it is May 11th? Wow, 2023. I think it's day 1131, but somebody's going to tell me for sure. Let's say hello to all of the humans that are live streaming in whatever platform. Hello. Nice to have you here. And then let's also say hello to the wonderful Jojo Rossi, who is the creator of our series, and our Zoom goddess guru, jamming on the one, Jaden, on tech today. It's exciting. All right, let me look and see who's here. Okay, we've got Aloysius here. Jim in New York City is here. Becky is here. Sheila in Florida, US of A, is here. Laris, okay, she's coming in up from across the pond, I believe in the UK. Kate in Charlottesville, hello to you. Arlene in Berkeley, California, A. Got that bridge behind you. It's orange and I like it. Storm is here with a friend. Hello to you. Bonnie and Boise. Oh, hey, Storm, is that Tigger? Oh, God. How'd you know Tigger was my favorite? Oh, wow. Okay, we'll get to that later. Carolyn, was it with the fur baby as well? Yes, it is day 1131. Thank you, thank you. Luda with so much love in Victoria, BC. Always appreciate you. Ruth and Clive doing fun things today. Nice to see you both. Susan G in Cincinnati. Hello, hello, hello. Annette in California. Good to see you. Susan in Seattle. Hello, hello. Linda on Orcas Island. Greetings. And in Silver Spring. Hello, hello. Yes, thank you. Trish, I'm waving to you. Yes, Trish wave back. Good. Jamie in Victoria is here. Hello. Jean in Pittsburgh. Nice to have you here. Hi, Sarah with the headphones. We see you. Oh, wow. Kathy with the fur baby. I love that. Oh, glad to have you here. Cricket is here. Hello to you. Mabel and a bear. Yes, repping Massachusetts. Thank you, thank you. Hi, Deli. Moving and revolving around the room. Either you're revolving around the room or the room is revolving around you. Okay, Dorian Ollie. Oh, yes. Ollie is here giving so much love. Oh, we feel it. We feel it. Kevin with his magic flute is here from DC. Aloysius, let's see. Oh, things moved around. Bronwyn from Victoria, BC. LMG, Jenny in Suffolk, UK. Gaia on Maui. Let's see. Carol J in Connecticut. Fred in Silver Spring. Ralph in Victoria. Jane in Texas. Caroline in DC. Nancy. I think that's Nancy with the Irish cow. Haven't seen the cow yet, but greetings to you. Hi, Gary. Nice to have you here. And Gay Smith is here. Let's all take a breath. Greetings to all. Hey, Satara, if you're out there, sending you love. Let's take a breath and give thanks for being here with each other today. If you're new to Daily Antidote of Song, put it in the chat where you're from, how you found us on day 11, 31, 1131. All right, let's take a breath. We are celebrating Musical Mothers Week this week, and we've got two of my favorites here in the house. We've got Lorraine and Bennett Hammond. Come to the stage, please.
Why, hello,
Hello,
hello.
hello.
We're pulling
Wonderful.
we're pulling the curtains back, so now you've just appeared on the stage. How are you both?
Doing well.
Yeah.
Springtime is coming to Massachusetts, and we are grateful, grateful, grateful.
Absolutely.
Songs and songs and songs. Shall we jump right in
Absolutely.
to our
There,
first?
there, there are two songs, right? There's two
We do,
songs.
we do. And the first one is a kid's song that we're thinking will be hopefully pretty easy to sing along with. Do friends already have the lyrics for this one? The Once I Was a Maiden? Yeah, da 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 dee, da 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 da. Yeah, da 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 da.
It's a
When
Love
familiar
the
we,
heavy
song.
lyrics.
yeah, when we think about Mother's Day, um, and how being female and all of the stages, and I love to connect it up with kids' music and kids' songs and mothers rocking babies and cradling and this whole energy. And kids' songs have always been, in some places, a way to teach about what it is to be growing up in a particular culture. So when I was growing up, I learned this one from Dolly DeGrenia. Her full name was Ovaline, her first name, and Dolly's dad had been born and raised in the Northeast Kingdom of Vermont, and his family were traditional singers. Oscar was illiterate. He never learned to read and write, but he could sing. And so he taught this one to Dolly. I learned it from Dolly. I heard Oscar sing it too. It was played as a game. And I'm just going to start it and we'll just sing it along together. Yes? Is that working out all right for
Let's
us?
go for it. Let's go for it.
Once I was a maiden, a maiden, a maiden. Once I was a maiden was I. Went this way and that way, and this way and that way. Once I was a maiden was I.
Now line it out again.
Want to do it again?
No, you gotta line it out slowly. Listen. Do we listen to you back to see if you got it?
Well, unfortunately, you can't hear us back, but just trust that we will have it.
But
I
that's
think
what you're doing, right? Isn't that?
I think it may be different lyrics than you grew up with, friends. You may have
Right,
done
right.
about Lassie, but I bet they got the tune.
Okay.
So,
All
and
right.
here are the faces. This is just the way we sang it in West Cornwall, Connecticut back in the 1940s. Ah. Then I had a feller, a feller, a feller. Then I had a feller had I. 'Twas this way and that way and this way and that way. Then I had a feller had I. Then I had a husband, a husband, a husband. Then I had a husband had I. 'Twas this way and that way and this way and that way. Then I had a husband had I. Then I had a baby, a baby, a baby. Then I had a baby had I. 'Twas this way and that way and this way and that way. Then I had a baby had I. Then I was a grandma, a grandma, a grandma. Then I was a grandma was I. Went this way and that way and this way and that way. Then I was a grandma was I. Then I was a widow, a widow, a widow. Then I was a widow was I. Went this way and that way and this way and that way. Then I was a widow was I. And Dolly sang that song, and we sang that song, and we played games and 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 jumped around in the playground. So I offer it to you as a part of this whole story, this human female mother story.
Mm, mm, thank you. We sang that in my community growing up. Our lyrics were very different.
I bet.
I know. The wealth of children's song
Exactly.
about the workings of a culture. It's huge. It's
It's very
great.
huge. And it's so interesting how it just travels from community to community over time, over time. There's someone named Oscar that's connected
Yes.
to this song.
There's
Tell
a
us about Oscar.
Oscar was Dolly's dad. He worked on the farm with my dad in West Cornwall, Connecticut. Well, it was the Cornwall side of Sharon Mountain at the time. We're talking about the Berkshires, Northwest Connecticut. And it is he who was born and raised in the Northeast Kingdom of Vermont. And he never did read or write, but he was a very, very bright man. And his memory surpassed all the rest of us with our modern props. So that's a photo of Oscar de Grenia sitting on the porch. He loved to sit on the porch of an evening with his rocker and sing the old songs. So that's how his picture got in here for a Mother's Day program.
Wow. What year do you think that picture was?
Um,
And how old are you thinking he was at that time? How about that?
yeah, I'm thinking it would have been in the 50s and that he would have been in his 70s.
Wow. Wow. And what was the name that you called him?
Well, I called him Mr. DeGrenia.
That's right. You're not calling adults by their first names.
That's
Uh-uh.
right. My mother said, call him Mr. Degree. Yeah. And my mom and his wife were very close, and his granddaughter Ruth Ann and I went to school together. There were 11 of us in our class. So
Wow.
rural, isolated, independent, and kind of self entertaining in the northwest corner of Connecticut. A real throwback in time. And an amazing place. But don't keep. Now I'm going to stop that. We might be able to do another program sometime with some more of the songs from there.
Absolutely.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
love to
Well,
do that.
let's talk about your mom. Tell us your mom's name, Lorraine.
My mom's name, Eleanor Matthews Chenier. She was raised by her grandmother's second husband. Both my parents were orphaned, and my dad was raised in an orphanage, and my mom was raised on the farm where she had been living with, we called him Grandpa Smith, with Grandpa Smith and his wife. And she was raised very much with a Heidi complex. She was the little girl up on the mountain on the farm, and she had to walk down the mountain through a covered bridge. There
Wow.
she is. That's my mom. She was
Wow.
born in 1916 and raised on that farm and stayed in that community for her entire life. Uh, yeah, isn't that
Incredible. Wow.
a great picture?
She looks really happy. She looks happy.
Yes, yes, she loved it. And there she is. This is a photo taken probably about the time she married my dad, in her 20s. They married in 1939. He was he was an orphan raised for most of his life in the Klingberg Children's Home in New Britain, Connecticut. And when he turned 18, he got a suitcase and a suit and had to figure out what to do next. And he joined FDR's Civilian Conservation Corps. And he came to Camp Cross, one of the early ones, maybe 1934. It was established. He came to Camp Cross, which was at the foot of the mountain that my mom lived at the top of, and we've always joked that he built a road up the mountain, and there was my mom.
All right. He was getting to her for
He
sure.
was getting to her. He was getting to him for sure, and they both they lived their entire lives in that community. My father never wanted to go anywhere else when he saw Cornwall, how beautiful it was and how much it meant to him to be out in the natural world in that way.
Well, people used to say, what are you doing in this miserable backwater, Joe? And he's saying, well, what do you mean? All these people around here, they all worked for 50 years in order to be able to live here. I'm here now.
Wow. 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 What a love story. What a love story. So let's move into the music. Your mom was a musical spirit.
My mom's musical spirit. Well, she met my dad at a Christmas carol sing at the post office of this little town. So
You're taking me right to Mayberry. I mean, that's how I associate little
afraid
towns.
so.
I'm going straight there. I see Barney. I see Andy. I see Opie. Okay, so
I knew them all.
okay, so there's a Christmas event at a post office.
Yeah, yeah, the town gets together to sing Christmas carols, and so, and they happen to stand next to each other. I imagine my father worked his way over because Grandpa Smith was with my mom, but yeah, and there is a great deal of colorful, loving history with that couple, just a lot, and I've been savoring it and pulling it forward as best I can, holding on to their presence in my own life, and so my mom ultimately had dementia.
Mm.
Much later, she would, in her really energetic years, she was the kind of the baker to the town. She taught herself to bake, and she made wedding cakes. One of my scariest memories would be sitting in the back seat of the car with a wedding cake on my lap.
Yeah,
Right.
I get it. I get it.
On
I
a
get
dirt
it. Petrifying. Petrifying. Yeah. Because it's got to get to where it's got to get to and
That's
out of your hands. Wow. Wow. Well, let's talk about some of the music that your mother inspired for you to sing or you sang together.
the life musically with my mom, and I understand that's part of this week looking at this, was significant when I was a little one. She sang the old nursery rhymes. I
Oh.
don't quite understand where she had them from, but but all of the um, Robert Louis Stevenson, Children's Garden of Verses, that kind of thing. And she made up tunes, and I held the tunes.
Mm.
Um, and still have them. So, it would be like, I saw a little bird come hop, 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 and I cried, little bird, won't you stop, stop, stop? I was running to the window to say, how do you do? When what did he do? He picked his little head. He perked his little head, I think, and away he flew. So I grew up with a life rich with my mom singing kids songs and me singing them with her, and we were deep in the life of the Congregational Church. It was the second Congregational Church in this small town. It was the conservative Congregational Church. It was a major reason I was on a bus out of town the day after I graduated from high school.
Mm.
Calvinist kind of Christian. Um, but for my mom and my dad, it structured their lives in a way that helped them immensely, and that community, the congregation, helped them immensely
Mm.
to get
Yes.
a footing in the town and to be able to stay there and be there.
Yeah. Yeah. It was home.
Yeah.
They built
Yes.
built a home for each other, with each other there. Wow. Okay, Bennett, I've got to ask you about your mom. Tell us her name, please.
My mom's name was Margaret or Peggy, and that picture of her playing air guitar in 1951 on the
Oh,
beach.
hold on. You got pictures of your mom too?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Oh, I needed popcorn this morning. I needed popcorn. Okay.
And we have pictures, but what's going to actually come up first is Lorraine when she was a baby.
oh yeah, let's keep going with this one
It's
now.
chubby cheeks.
Oh, how sweet. Oh, my stars.
That,
That is
that's
too sweet.
that's
I
on the
know
same
that.
farm. Whoop, just one sec. The picture, the baby picture, is on the same farm that my mom's picture with her little umbrella. That is taken. Same
Oh
photo.
my goodness. Who's occupying that farm now? I'm just curious.
We think it's people from New York City who bought the land. West Cornwall is a very much high-end, accessible from New York City property. James Thurber had Cornwall as his second home. So it,
You know, Lorraine, you need to go back there and recreate that picture right where those trees are with
See,
your hair, with the belly. You got to go recreate it. I'm sorry.
their parents' love affair really was taken to heart by the town.
yeah.
The town loved them, and there were two things. One thing was that just before they got married, the town got together and threw a chivalry for them. The whole fake wedding. It was outrageous, noisy, cross-dressing in the church, just terrible.
In the
And,
church.
and it was in the newspapers and everything about old the greengrocer was dressed up as the bride, and
What?
I,
and
I was thinking we better make another program.
well, sure. But
There you go.
the thing is that a few years later, they lost their farm because this family from New York came in when the grandpa died, kind of intestate, or they fought the will, and the lawyers were able to argue the her parents out of the farm completely,
Oh,
and it kind of set them back. The whole
Yeah,
town.
sure did.
oh, oh. But you
Huge.
have those incredible memories and the photos to prove
High
it.
and low, high and lows.
But they remained in the town. My dad found a job on the state park system and then state highway. He worked the highway crew, worked the roads, gardened for everybody he could. And because of this kind of summer people population in our year-round town, there was work. There were houses to clean and there were yards to rake, and um, they made it. They made it work.
Wow.
This
Wow.
this is the one that I and everybody I know fell in love with. And so, but how old are you in this?
Maybe 28,
28.
maybe
Look
30.
at that dulcimer. Oh my.
Your son
Wow.
is 10 years old.
Yeah, my son was 10. I had a baby when I had been 20 for a week. Um, Talking about mother part of these
Yeah.
things.
Sure.
So there
Sure.
she is. She's the young mother in this picture, as well as the dulcimer queen.
Incredible. Wow. Okay, where was that taken?
That was out in South Natick, Mass, where I lived um, with my first husband, the late Rick Lee. Um, and we were there from 74 maybe until um, 86.
Wow. You were such a flower child.
I was a total flower child. I
It's
am.
all over you. I love it. It's coming off of the screen. Wow.
Yeah, these kind of waves of flower childhood. But this, she's gorgeous here, Mom.
Oh, Bennett. That's your mommy.
Yeah. She was a baby in her late 20s at that time.
About the same.
Glamour girl. She's a glamour girl.
Yeah. Well, she was a society kid and stuff. Um, and well, her, it's her musical. It's not like an effect. Her effect on my life, on my music life, wasn't really an influence.
Okay.
But it's profound, and toward the end of it, it was there was a lot of she didn't like it. Um,
You rebel.
well, she never liked the fact that I let my hair grow out, and she never forgot that she didn't like it.
All right. And the
But
ponytail is still there, you know.
one of these things. She didn't like. But if you took that picture right there and showed it to the people I went to college with, they would all say, "Oh, that's Bennett playing air guitar." They would all say that. That's
Wow.
exactly what I look like. Same glasses, same hair. The shorts and blouse are a little different from what I was wearing.
Okay, I would think so.
Railroad tie bell bottoms, and a tie dye top. But that posture and that look, that's me. Now I've got
Oh
to
my goodness.
just so that I don't get mistaken for my mother.
Air guitar queen at that during that time. Wow.
What she did for me, though, is so deep and profound. It is musically, it's just astonishing, really. She was very good she was very creative and clever. She was an artist and she wrote books and stuff. And her father had been a writer and her brother was a producer and stuff. So, and she was very quick with making up little doggerel lyrics. I remember in the 1956 election cycle, when all of my neighbors in Greenwich, Connecticut, all the little kids were going around mindlessly saying, "Whistle while you work, Stevenson's a jerk." My mother had me going, "When the prices go up, 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 and the values go down, 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 Eisenhower's the reason you're broke this season." And that went over like a lead balloon in school, but still, it was.
Wow.
And she liked to sing torch songs, and she was always humming stuff. But she made up a little lullaby lyric for me. She called me Davy for some obscure reason, or Davy Jones when she was feeling really very affectionate. And there was one time when I was just a little infant boy out in California, and we lived in Sausalito, and I had a little toy truck that was broken or something. I don't remember this at all. But she made up a little lyric to the beautiful section of Beethoven's Sixth Symphony, the Pastoral. And it goes, "Poor Davy Jonesy, the truck would not go round." I own the Sixth Symphony. That's my tune. When
Wow.
it comes on, I go, "That's my tune." Symphony, the whole thing
Yes, he
is
does.
mine. I own it, and I own it honestly. It's fabulous. And it's like that.
Wow. Wow. So then you got to play it for us. Come on now. You got to play it.
Now,
Wow. 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 That's a wonderful memory. Mm.
now, later on, when she was objecting to my long-hairedness and all that other stuff, I played her one of the last thing she said about my guitar playing. Was I played this tune that I had made up, and it was all full of stuff and everything. And she was still just so angry at me for having my long hair. She said, "Oh well, your friends tell me you're pretty good, but I don't get it."
It's a mom story.
But you know what? Somehow I bet when she's talking to your friends, she's feeling a whole lot of pride with that. She
Really,
probably couldn't express it
I,
to you.
I learned that it took me a while, but suddenly I went, "That was my fault." I could have done better, but no.
Okay. All right. Wow. I'm loving these memories. I'm loving the photos. Um, let's talk about the second song. What is the second song you're bringing for us?
Well, this is the one again. I hope people will have lead sheets with chords, and you can go back later and listen again to this. You've got the lyrics, but I wrote this as I was losing my mom, and she was failing, and it was unclear how much longer she had. And I would drive down from Brookline, Mass, to Northwest Connecticut to be with her, and it gave me the chance. What a blessing. It gave me the chance to really stay close, find a way in. And so that's what this song is about. And it happened in real time. And when I joke about this, I knew it was finished when I looked in the mirror one morning, and instead of seeing my mother's face, I saw my father's nose.
Wow. Okay.
All right, all right, yes.
So interesting. Can you just sing the song? Just sing it and we'll follow along because I really want to hear the voice and the guitar. Uh, let's experience that.
I look in the mirror and I see my mother's face. To my surprise, I recognize her humor and her grace. Through the looking glass, the past and present cautiously embrace. I look in the mirror and I see my mother's face. I can hear my mother's voice as I console a friend. I pour the tea my mom taught me. A cuppa helps transcend most any hurt, at least until a heart has time to mend. I can hear my mother's voice as I console a friend. I smile my mother's smile as the snow begins to fall, muffled by the winter sky. I hear the wild geese call, and the red fox stops and listens too, over by the old stone wall. I smile my mother's smile as the snow begins to fall. And so the seasons circle now before my changing eyes. Winter turns the meadow pond into a paradise of snow that drifts and dances Every time the north wind sighs, all the while spring is singing just beneath the ice. I look in the mirror and I see my mother's face. To my surprise, I recognize her humor and her grace. Through the looking glass, the past and present lovingly embrace. I look in the mirror and I see my mother's face.
Oh, that is such a lovely, warm embrace. Wow. Wow. Thank you, Lorraine, for the song, for the singing. Thank you, Bennett, for the beautiful, sensitive guitar playing accompaniment. Oh, wow. Lorraine, you mentioned your mom experienced dementia. Um, were you singing with her during your visits?
I have a fierce story.
Please
Um,
tell us. Please share.
we moved her to a nursing home, and it was a blessing that my brother-in-law was the admissions director, and he would have tea with my mom every afternoon, and that was such a blessing, such a comfort for all of us, including my mom. But she was beginning to fail. We got an emergency call, come down, we're losing your mom. And we got there, and her head had dropped. She just was just out of connection. And it was Christmas time. And my dad came over to visit, and and I said to my father, let's sing. And
Yes.
we put an arm, each of us on either side, and sang to my mom, who had not spoken in a couple of weeks. She was in a chair, and we started singing Silent Night, and then we sang um, the one that's ba, 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 the wow, it's such a powerful memory that. So we started to sing pop songs that were from her childhood Christmases and her Christmases with my dad, and she lifted her head and she looked at us. And then Daddy said, I need a break. He smoked at that time. And he headed out. She looked up and she said to me, has he gone out to smoke? My mom, who had not spoken in
Wow.
weeks.
She came back.
And we had her back for several months.
She came back. You know, perhaps one of those songs was something that was sung at the post office.
Very likely.
You know, incredible, but she came back.
And you're really pulling at my heartstrings here. And friends, all of you who are out there and we're sharing this time, I mean, I'm getting weepy. It's just singing the song itself is always moving for me, and it raises that question about how do you manage deep emotion if you're in a performance space.
Yes.
I'm feeling very safe here. It's not an issue for me right
Oh, good,
now.
good.
Thank you. Thank you.
Bennett, Bennett, do you have a memory of your mom, of maybe a final musical memory of your mom? Did she request you play a song?
Well, yes, she actually hated all of the kind of folk music, all those folk songs. And here's why.
So he married me.
She lived through all of that stuff.
Mm.
She was alive when Pretty Boy Floyd was killing people. She
Mm.
actually she knew
Amelia Earhart?
Amelia Earhart.
Yeah.
She knew those people, and when the folk songs would come up, they just were too close. She couldn't stand it. She knew 47 different versions of Casey Jones, but she wouldn't sing that stuff. But there was one song that she did of mine that she did love, and that was called "The Cruel War." You know that song?
Let's hear a little bit of it, please.
He goes, I'll sing you
I think it's the chorus.
verse. He goes, she wants to go away. Her boy's going to go off and fight the war. And she says, I'll tie back my hair, man's clothing I'll put on. I'll pass as your comrade as we march along. And she goes on and on like that. And then he keeps saying, no. And then finally she says, I love you far better than words can ever express. Won't you let me go with you? And he says, yes, my love, yes. And I said, well, why do you love that song? Of all of the songs, why do you love that one so much? And she says, because a woman really could love a man that much.
Oh, oh, she's got the last word there. Oh,
You're helping us dig deep this.
so true. So true. Oh,
Yeah.
okay. Um, I don't know that there's any more to be said other than a mother's love, a woman's love.
I think nothing's better than that in the world. Bigger,
Wow,
longer, finer than that. Nothing.
wow, wow. I'm so lucky to be able to speak with the both of you today. Wow. Thank you so much for sharing the memories. Did we get through all the photos? I feel like I feel like I want to see more photos now. And I'm serious. You need to go back to that spot, Lorraine.
I don't
You
think
know,
that old T-shirt will fit anymore.
yeah, it doesn't matter. We can Photoshop. No, I think it deserves it because it would go viral. Trust me, it would go viral.
Oh yeah, I'm sure.
With the little T-shirt, it would really go viral. So think about it if you want to do something outrageous in your life. With
Well,
the
October 1, which will be a Sunday, uh, we will be doing a presentation at our Cornwall. This is Cornwall, Connecticut. Friends, you can come from anywhere. I think it's scheduled for 2 p.m. A story about the music and the life and the history for the Cornwall Historical Society. And
all right,
maybe
all
not
right.
that piece of it, but yes, October 1 is an easy day to remember, which is the only reason I can keep track of these things. But it will be at the Historical Society and pull up
Okay.
the songs and the stories. Yeah.
Wow. Wow. Okay. All right. We've got your information in the chat. Everyone, let's just give so much love to Lorraine and Bennett Hammond. Wow. Thank you for bringing your mommies here. Thank you for bringing your dads in, the holidays, Oscar, all of it. All of it. It really worked. It really worked. And we so appreciate the memories and the songs. Thank you so much. Everybody, let's give it up. Lorraine and Bennett Hammond.
This has
Blessings to
been
you all, friends.
blessings to
Keep
What
you.
an
that music.
exceptional day. Wow. Okay, let's breathe that in. Okay. Who thought of this musical Mother's Week? Who did that? It's always trying to start something around here. People always starting something. You know, we trying to have it together here. Can here's the thing I know. I can never wear mascara for this show. Never. Ever. Either I'm crying on camera or it's generally off camera, but okay. Wow. Okay. All right. I'm coming. I'm coming. I will be there. All right. Thank you all so much. Everyone, let's give them a hand in gratitude. Let's see. The only announcement that I'm aware of is there is a community dance tonight. Carpe Diem Arts is presenting. And so if you are in the area, the link will be in the chat for what you need to do. Okay. I'm going to call my mom up.
Oh, dear,
Mom up.
dear.
I'm going to call my mom up as soon as we hang up. And you all hug your moms or hug somebody or hug something. Say their name, whatever it is. Just be in reverence because that's really a special thing. As Bennett said, ain't nothing like it. Ain't nothing like it. So thank you for that declaration. Okay, let's see. Um, okay, I gotta go. So let me say goodbye to the folks in the room. Jojo Rossi, wow, thank you for this. Thank you, Jojo.
Thank
Thank you.
you.
Jaden, thank you, thank you. We think it, she links it. Hey! I'm gonna do a song on that one. And we're gonna thank Jim in New York City. You're one of the good people from New York City, Jim. Okay. You're one of the good ones. You're one of the good ones. Okay. Becky, Becky, thank you for being here. Storm, so appreciate. Wow. Okay, I'm gonna save this chat because I know there's some interesting things going on. So I'm gonna do it right now. I'm saving the chat. Thank you, Storm, for being here. Carolyn and Boise, thank you. Beyonce's on tour now, so you can have your Beyonce fan. Luda in Victoria, BC, thank you for so much love. Ruth and Clive, you're in a pub somewhere. Wow, we appreciate you. All right, tip one up for us. Susan G in Cincinnati. Thank you. Didn't you love these stories? Wow. Annette in California, we appreciate you being here. Hi, Ann in Silver Spring. Always good to see you. Sarah Page in Texas. Great having you here. Hoda in British Columbia. There was a shot of you, Hoda, where you were just so engaged and you were just so feeling it. Go back and look at it. You got good camera time today. Good camera time. Cricket, great seeing you here. Thank you for your presence as always. Bonnie and Boise. I know you calling mom up. I know you are. I know you are. Wow. Thank you for being here. Kathy, thank you. Appreciate you and the fur baby. Mabel and a bear in Massachusetts. Yes. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Kathleen in Albuquerque. Lovely seeing you today. Linda in Concord, Massachusetts. Great having you here. Hey, Bob. Nice to see you. Good to see you today. Hi, Gary. Thank you for being here. Linda, representing all the good people in Orcas Island. We appreciate you. Hey, Deli. Hey, Deli. Good to see you. Dory and Ollie. Wow. See, Ollie stayed the whole time. Ollie's like, I'm getting some of this goodness. Aloysius, thank you for your presence. Jamie and Victoria, always great seeing you, my friend. Kevin in DC. Wasn't this lovely? And they gave you the chords, so you could play along with no problem. That was great. Thank you for being here. Gail Maui, appreciate you very much. Ralph and Victoria, thank you. Jane in Texas, Caroline in DC, Nancy with the Irish cow, Suzanne on St. Ange, Bob and a bear in Massachusetts, and the curly tops, Ah, thank you all so much. I'm calling my mama up right